time for retirement or pension, where do we take the information from for these people to send to NASCO for their pension to be processed? We don't have it. There is no way that the Director General of the Civil Service cannot know who's in the employ of the Civil Service. The Director General has to account for all civil servants. And the way to do it is through this process, because it gives us a comprehensive information, employee information. So that's why through the Employee Status Regularization Project, we are going to work with these people to ensure that their status is legitimized and they are bona fide employees who have the rights under the laws of our country to enjoy the rights and security of their job. So this is what I want to say down here. That today, as I speak to you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, co-presiding and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, nobody has been removed from the payroll on the basis of not having a paying process. Nobody has been removed from the payroll. We have not removed anybody because they did not complete their pay. We have not. We have not. And that's not what we intend to do. We intend to work with these two categories of people. And let me tell you, let me further tell you. Let me further tell you. Let me
please proceed right now. Please. It's okay.
Honorable members,
no one is allowed to disturb this process.
Honorable members, let me tell you.
Have the time to do your inquiry. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, honorable members, let me tell you that these names, and that's the correction I made. I don't know if you follow. When I said Amicat, when I announced the 40,000 situation Amicat, I had to go back to Amicat the following week to go and provide clarification. And the clarification I provided was that these names predate 2019, and I want to be on the record for that. It's not actually from 2019. It predates 2019. And let me tell you why it predates 2019. Prior to 2019, and that's why I appreciate the fact that Honorable Foko requested the legislature and they invited me. It gives me an opportunity to speak more to that, to provide more clarification on that. So, prior to 2019, here's what happened. There were ministries, agencies, and commissions that were operating their individual payrolls. And those individual payrolls contain special allowances, and they contain the regular Liberian dollar salaries. Yes, Honorable. So, during the harmonization process in 2019, there was a law instituted, and I must commend the former administration for instituting that law through the 54th legislature. The law was the Standardization and Remuneration Act. You passed it, your predecessors passed it. And the intent of that act, and my predecessor will also speak on that when you invite him, the intent of that act was to bring all of the agencies into the national payroll system. So we regularize our pay system. So that brought everybody on board. So we now have this national payroll system that contains a little over 100 spending entities. So when they did that, many of the people, the civil servants that they brought on board through the harmonization process, the Civil Service Agency did not go back to them for them to do their paying, their personnel action notices. They did not go back to them. So they brought all those people on board and put them on the payroll, but they did not process their payments. But I'm a different Director General. I'm keen about identifying who is in the civil service as employee. I need to make sure that the leadership at the Civil Service Agency accounts for every employee in keeping with law and policy. And that is why now we're saying, through this project, we are going back to regularize their status. Regularize their status simply means to ensure that we legitimize their status. It's legitimate. And to do that is the responsibility of the CSA. So the previous leaderships at the CSA must take a significant portion of the blame for not ensuring that these people completed their personnel action notices. Because it is not just the individual candidate who is seeking the job. It is the responsibility of the civil service to work with the spending entities to make sure that those people complete their personnel action notices. That's why we are here today. And I want to assure you that we are not dismissing or removing these people from the jobs. No, that's not what we do. We're working with spending entities to ensure that we legitimize their status. Next slide, please. So here is the process. Section 35. Section 35. Honorable President, these are the steps. These are just the steps and procedures for completing the personnel action notice by law. Section 35. Section 35, 1 to 6 shows what exactly the spending entity should do, shows what the job candidate should do, and shows what the civil service agency should do. Next slide. So here we go. Section 35.5 tells you that the process as outlined on the following page continues for all new employment and is forwarded to the Department of the Budget to verify that the position and funding are within the institution's salary allotment include the personnel listing. So why is it important? The Ministry of Finance, the CSA, for your employment, that's the job candidate. The CSA has to make sure that the Ministry of Finance has the physical space. If the physical space is not available, they cannot do the employment. It's the responsibility of the CSA to do that. And it is law. We have to implement that. The second one is that Section 35.6 provides that since the processing of the payroll is being done by the Civil Service Agency through the alternative temporary system, the pen is returned to the CSA for its import. At that juncture, the employee will be officially on the payroll. That's when the Director General directs that the employee be placed on the payroll. So Chapter 3 of the Civil Service Standing Order says that all appointments to the classified civil service of the Republic of Liberia shall be channeled through the CSA. Classified civil service, meaning that all classified positions in the civil service have to go through the civil service. And there shall be no exceptions, is the law. The agency shall conduct a recruitment examination, certification, and employment in a classified position. It is the responsibility of the CSA to do that. Honorable Deputy Speaker and Co-Presiding, I want to assure you that the civil service has automated our testing system. More than 90 positions, job families are in the testing system. It is now available. When it is launched, it's going to be available globally to Liberians everywhere to be able to write the test. Two reasons why Liberians write the test. One, you just want to know that you are qualified to work in the civil service. Doesn't mean you're looking for a job. You can write the test. And once you write the test, you fail, you will not get a certificate. But if you pass, because your result will automatically come to you after writing the test. When you pass, then that will be followed by your automated certificate signed by the Director General. You will stay right there and receive it automatically. It will come to you. So we're doing that. So we are doing the current employee regularization project, but we're doing headcounts. Currently, we have done headcounts on all these entities. And you can see the status. We don't headcounts here. No, we requested the Honorable House officially for us to come and do a headcount for the central administration. So it's up to you. If you agree, we will come and do it. We agree. All right, 1 minute left. I want 1 minute. So I want to show you some data. Can you switch
1 minute left. 1 minute left.
One, just the data. Go for the data. One. All right. You see here? You see this data? You can just reduce it small. You see this data? This data is one of the reports from one of the entities. I won't call the name because we have not submitted the report to the entity. The way you see here, go. Can you reduce it a little bit? Let's just see. Reduce it a little bit. Reduce it a little bit. Reduce it a little bit. Okay, the big will not come. Okay, good. All right, so you see here, this is the attendance. For example, when we do the hair count, we analyze your attendance records. We analyze the sick leave. We analyze the steady leave. Then we do physical verification. We take your picture and everything. We have an app that generates all the reports. Now, for example, this is the attendance analysis. The attendance analysis of one of the entities that we just completed. For January, the first zero you see is for January. That employee did not go to work for the entire January. If you see the second February, that employee did not go. 0. You see March, they only went to work for 3 days. So you see number of days, the base is supposed to be at work 61 days. You see the days present, 3. You see the days absent, 58. The percentage of time absent from work is
Continue. The method is important.
Thanks for joining us. My name is Prince. And we are here at the House of Representatives in session. Today is Tuesday, and the Civil Service Agency Director General Josiah Joekai has come to just give an overview of what the civil service is doing in session.
Now the reason why the harmonize society, the harmonize society is what is that
That way you don't have to be emotional with you.
I said do your work, you have to do your work. Do your work, do your work. Every for me, working with the children always. Please have the I am so impressed with the presentation from the DG. But I think one of the issues that we all have is the issue of communication. And the DG did well to go back to Mika to set the record straight. And so we'd like to thank him and show our people that no one has been dismissed from the service based on the information given by the DG. Howbeit, there are issues that we want to bring to your attention quickly that will clear the path in the future. Because as I speak right now, I work with civil service for almost 8 years, and I can tell you that I did not receive a pen, and I left without receiving a pen. And the reason is the structure that you have in terms of recruitment. From your presentation, recruitment will actually start from your end. In most cases, we are recruited before we get to doing pay. And so, almost all of the civil service members, and including all the 40,000 you're talking about, the reason they did not receive pay is because it is from up down, then from down up. I hope you can be able to to do the requisite background work to ensure that going forward, before someone is recruited into the service, the agency makes a request to you and you do the recruitment process so that when the person gets there, you already have a thing. Second, as we speak right now, there are colleagues of ours in the 53rd, in the 54th, who up to now did not get some payments because of some arrangement between NFDP and your office. My understanding is, as we speak right now, they are paying, and I'd like to bring it to your attention in this open forum that we need to facilitate and ensure that those payments are done expeditiously. Thank you so much, DG. You are very good. Thank you.
Just to add a little more on that, Mr. Chairman, the issue has to do with our pastoring. So DG, please take your time. With urgency. Thank you. The error. You got it.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, for presiding, fellow police, witness, I want to thank you so much for your splendid presentation. But I have the whole barrel of questions. The first thing is that I'm not too sure when you say there will be no dismissal for the exercise. I'm not too sure. We have government personnel. Government personnel are individuals that receive pay from government payroll. Then you have classified civil servants and there are clerical civil servants. Classified civil servants are those civil servants that have been tested for should they be qualified for a job. And clerical civil servants are those, they know what that is. So I think the exercise that you're starting now is clerical, and that exercise will pick qualification. Those that are not paying on the 19,000 person that are not paying on payroll, I'm not sure it was deliberate, it was inadvertent, I'm not sure it was inadvertent.
Civil approach your chair. Sorry.
I don't think it's inadvertent. I think it's based on some instructions. And the exercise that you're doing now will definitely pick some individuals who are not fit in our class. So to say, oh, they will not be dismissed, I'm not too sure that you are. The second thing is that you have to indicate to us these individuals that are being fed, are they still on pay, are they being paid, or will they be paid? If they will be paid, what's going to happen? So, can you consider dismissed or they are being placed on moratorium? Those are the concerns I have.
Honorable is carefully, he's taking note. Please. Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, our witnesses here today, distinguished colleagues. As a Liberian, I want to express how much I am proud of you as a Director General. We Liberians must be able to express and appreciate our own. You are proven to have serious expertise in this field, and I'd like to salute you for the great job you've done. In the shortest time. I want you to know that the Speaker, along with the Deputy Speaker and all members of this body, recognizes the great job that you've done. I'm just concerned about you because I believe this process General is going to make every Liberian employee know exactly what they're working for now. Because I worked in government before, and I know this issue of corruption was facilitated by the General, the Civil Service Agency. They will bring a payroll at the institution that is far different from what the employee is supposed to be receiving. And I believe this is going to help to address this situation. Lastly, how do you intend, because there's certain grade or category that we have in government that has to do with supplementary employees. How do you intend addressing this? Because currently we have a lot of Liberians who have been dismissed because they were on supplementary payroll for no reason, and I have serious interest in this one. Thank you so much for this job. We talked in no time. Congratulations. So we allow you to pick the first five. Yeah. We'll respond to the next batch of people.
After someone will conclude the five.
The Director General has spoken. I think it was crystal clear. The only thing we need to do here now is we encourage our constituents that are not going through the process.
I think we should give our
I received a letter from the Labour community. There were people from the EPS that were in the meeting. Yeah, almost 6 persons. They were all civil servants. So I would like to know, I received a letter concerning this wrongful dismissal or unfair dismissal. And you require us that you want to investigate. But they are all civil servants would like to know how far are you now the issue of the EPS.
Then we allow you to respond right after Honorable Kamara. We'll come on the next one.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, co-presiding distinguished colleagues. I just want to know from the DG. I'm concerned about this process that have to do with the pen. We have been told here by the DG that we have 19,600 and 20,400. What are those mechanisms that he will put into place so that we should not have these things happening in our country that will cause some confusion in our country where we don't have to be doing what we are doing now. So I just want him to help us in this, like to inform us as to what are those mechanisms that he is putting into place so that we will not be at this point at this time. Thank you.
Okay. DG, please respond to take the next batch of colleagues.
Thank you. Thank you. I will start from the bottom to go up with Honorable Kamara. I hope I got his name correct. It's Honorable Kamara. With Honorable Kamara's question, I think is valid, and that's a major concern for us. So when we, hopefully in the next 3 months, when we address the status of our precious civil servants, medium to long-term plan is to automate all of our human resource management systems. What do we mean by that? The employment services will automate it and make it seamless. the Minister of Education should be able to see all his or her employees from the comfort of their desks. Should be able to see everything, see where the person is employed and everything. We also want to automate the whole retirement and pension scheme. Then allow our two systems, the CSA system and the NASCO system, to communicate, so that our people don't have to go and queue in the sun, in the rain, while waiting to be re-enrolled, reinventing the wheel. If they have employee accounts, once they retire, we should turn their employee account into a pension account. No troubles. Whatever pension they're supposed to be receiving comes strictly into that account. Their processing must not be reinvention. It should just be automatic and seamless. CSA communicates on behalf of the employee to NASCO. NASCO processes it, and the information comes back to the CSA. CSA communicates with the retiree, the person who is pensioned. We want to make it seamless. Performance management will make it seamless. You and your manager will do the performance management. It starts with you. You assess yourself. You appraise yourself. Automatically, your manager gets the report. Your manager sits with you. Both of you discuss the appraisal report. It goes to the head of the entity. That's what we want to do. The testing system, we will also dump it on our platform. Everything in one place. Self-service, attendance. Attendance is right there. We're putting in place a mechanism where we can do that attendance analysis strictly online. Once that is done, you cannot go to work and don't work and stay out the entire time, or you're not even at work, but somebody is there writing your name and signing for you. No. The system is going to curtail all of those things. It will prevent that. The paying, we will automate the paying. Also, you go to the platform, you complete your personnel action notice, you upload your picture, you hit go, it comes to the entity HR system. Because, like Honorable Sibo said, it's supposed to start, the recruitment starts with the spending entity, not with the CSA. When the pen is filled out by the spending entity, it comes to the CSA. But instead of you taking whole file, say like 100 employees you are employing, you take 100 folders, sometimes you got to be 2, 3 to bring it. All those pens can just be automated, and you can complete everything online. And you hit go, it will come to the CSA, seamless. When that happens, nobody will be employed without completing their pen. You have to go and complete your pen. We will have a record in the system for everybody. And you're not doing it by yourself, because not everybody you will not find everybody possessing the skills to do that online. So the HR system will assist such people, help them to complete their or do the online stuff for them. So that's the measure we want to put in place, to put a freeze, so that people will not be employed without completing pens. Yeah. So when it comes to Honorable Mulba's question, the EPS, this brings me to the whole complaint and grievance management system, and not just the previous administration. The appeal board of the civil service is so powerful that when you look at our structure, the appeal board is right here on the side of the DG, meaning from the president to the appeal board before the director general. The appeal board was never activated in about 18 years. Right now we have backlogs that we are dealing with, backlog of cases of complaints we are dealing with. When I took over, the first thing I did was to write His Excellency the President and ask him as a matter of urgency to reconstitute the appeal board. The President, in a matter of few days, 3 or 4 days, he reconstituted the appeal board. The appeal board is now active because the grievance and complaint management process must be independent of the Director General, his deputies. It must be an independent body. That appeal board is working. And the role of the appeal board is to review all the actions of the examining committee, because the examining committee is the one that hears all the complaints. Once the complainant or the defendant is not satisfied with the outcome of the hearing, they can take appeal to the appeal board for arbitration. So the appeal board and the examining committee are now very active. They are hearing cases. So whenever any of our citizens in the civil service writes the CSA, and the letter comes to me because I'm Director General, The only thing I have to do is write and pass that communication to the examining committee. I do not have any jurisdiction over that because it separates me and the entire grievance and complaint management process. And I'm allowing the system to work. So that communication, when it came to me, I sent it to the complaint management team. They will schedule, as I speak to you right now, they are hearing cases today Tuesday. Today is designated for cases. About 5 different cases are being heard. Yes, so they do that Tuesdays and Thursdays, they hear cases. So that case, they're going to call them, definitely they're going to call them to go ahead here. They will do that. Complaints come from all over, across the spending entities, and we hear them. So, individuals, the 40,000 are being paid. Yes, somebody asked, Honorable asked that question here, as to whether or not, in fact, it's a critical question, whether or not these people we're talking about are being paid or they are being blocked. Honorable, I can tell you that how we block these people, then we wouldn't have had peace in this country by now. We're talking 40,000 people. So actually they are taking pay. They are not blocked. We didn't block anybody. They're on the payroll, they are taking pay. And we're not going to block them. They're going to be on the payroll while we are working with them to legitimize their status. So the former honorable's payment, which the Honorable Deputy Speaker put premium on as well. And that was raised by one of the, I think Honorable Sibo Williams. So I just want to let you know that we are working on all of our former representatives' requests that come to us. I think they are being, it's a special group that we're paying serious attention to. If you speak to those who are benefiting now, they will tell you the relationship they have with me is something highly acceptable. So there are those in the category that you talk about, that communication, Honorable Deputy Speaker, co-presiding, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to assure you that I'm going to deal with it expeditiously. I will. So Honorable Koga was saying something, but he did not end. I just want to say yes, you will help the CSA a lot with the information dissemination. That would be highly appreciated. Yeah, you're concerned about.
No, just compliment, man.
No.
After the compliment.
Oh, you said how do you address supplementary pay? Yes, so supplementary, we all know, and I know the Honorable Deputy Speaker knows a lot because he was once upon a time with Raisins and Finance. Supplementary payroll are people who are not on a regular payroll, are people providing different services and are being paid through special payroll arrangements that are financed from different sources of our budget. And in the purview of the CSA, we have oversight for the regular payroll system. So what we are doing, for example, all of our people, and some of them doing critical jobs, Honorable, let me be frank with critical jobs. Take like, for example, people who do the cleaning up. Say like around the stadium, we all go, we are happy. The playing game, we go to see the place. Those are not direct employees that sit in the offices. Those are people who are performing those special services, making sure that we are comfortable when we go there or go to the Providence Island. I think Providence Island, they got around like 50 of them. If you go to the museum, they got some of them around there, fully aware. But what can we do to bring these people into the national payroll system? That is a big question that the CSA is faced with now. I can stand here to tell you what we have adopted, but what I can tell you is that our conversation is ongoing in terms of what to do to address that situation.
One question on this
Impartiality. Right. So this is what I would say to you, honorable members of this orchestra. I am a human being. I am not perfect, but I have a history in this country. And anybody can follow my track records from the National Elections Commission, from the Ministry of Education, the National Commission on Arms. I have tried my best based on the virtues that my parents instilled in me.
So you do the legislature.
Yes, yes, I'll do my best, Honorable.
Margaret Thomas.
can't say no. He gives to me. No, he gives to me. DJ, I want clarity on the request that we made, the PNC committee. We requested the 40,000 listing, but if my memory serves me, when you send us, it's not you jump up. Payroll, not the specific request that we made. Even as I speak to you now, my chairman is in the process of writing you to re-request the specific information that we needed. So I want you to make that clarity with Panama that you did not submit 40,000 listeners requested, but instead you submitted a bunch of payroll to us.
Correct.
So I want that clarity.
So, Honorable, here's the clarity. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the clarity is that I remember to the best of my recollection, your communication underscored that we should provide payrolls of specified areas. In your letter, you indicated that we should provide a payroll 2012 to this period. We should provide a payroll. I think about 3 different sets of payroll is in your letter that was sent to us, and I was only honoring that because it's my responsibility to do. We provided a payroll. That's one question. Question number 2, and you said that you wanted the 40,000, so we didn't just want to dump one batch. So we broke it into 2 to even provide explanation to you that the 19,600 is this category who did not initiate. We thought that you needed that information further to clarify or to give you more insight into the data. So the second group was the 20,400. We say here is it. So you asked for 2 separate data, and we provided you the 2 separate data.
To extend thanks to the witness. Our first concern will be, I would want to know what is the total strength of the government payroll in terms of manpower, inclusive of the 40,000 in question. 2, the CSA is going through a process currently. Unfortunately, the data isn't on the go again. But from what he spoke from, we saw in January an employee did not go to work. He attended work 0 day. The same for February, and in March, 3 days. And in his analysis at the end, we saw something there dismissed.
Recommendation.
Yes. For recommendation, dismissal or dismiss whatsoever it was, but it has something to do with dismiss. My question is, there is a labor law, the Decent Work Act, that calls for a consistent absence of an employee from work without any justifiable reason for at most 10 days. That person is qualified for dismissal. So I would want for the Director General to be clear, we should not window dress or side dress anything here. The law is the law. If someone refuses to go to work, and some of those analyses give on 61 days, out of 64 days, if someone did not go to work 61 days, there should be action. Because we cannot spend government money for the wrong reason. So I would want for the Director General to please be clear to us on this issue before he comes back tomorrow, after he shall have taken action. And then some of our colleagues be saying, oh yes, he said there was no dismissal or there was no claim of dismissal. So what action will the CSA be taken to those who have consistently refused to go to job?
Thank you. Honorable.
Let me do you respond, please.
Okay.
And my Ellis go on.
Sorry, Honorable.
People and then we welcome and have the DG displays.
That is to me.
That is correct.
That is what you to me.
No. Please do not give your
That is for you to me.
That is.
Thank you, Honorable
Honorable
President.
President, you are not recognized. Honorable Ellis Noah is recognized. Thank you.
Long live the presiding. Mr. PG, again, congratulations. Thank you for the explanation about for our people. I have two questions, and those questions are important for coordination, more especially looking at the robust measures that you are putting in place for the betterment of. One has to do, have you come across something called the CWU at your area, call it the Civil Service Worker Union or something? If yes, we are being told by our people. A few days ago, I got 2 payrolls in 2019 and 2018. That union cutting based on your salary and cutting. Percentage at 25, we were making, we were in $200, we were in 600, sometimes 50 cents. And you know, the cutting, and it goes for that year. I want to know, and you know, as new DG, what are you in the know of that? And we need explanation on that. Because before our salary is sent to our account, various taxes or various amounts you need to pay, what are NASCAR, insurance, blah, 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 they can be, you know, taken. But the worker union has civil servant also to be cutting. We want to know that. Then the main one, we have had interaction with police in the civil servant with same positions but various salaries grade. Somebody will be director as fire service, for example, and then somebody director as post and telecommunications, or either assistant director, so to speak. And then one person will be in 1,000 and the other person in 400. And you know, so in that case, we want to know, with the new rebranding, if I will use our word, of the civil servant based on your knowledge that you bringing on board or you brought on board, what will you do to make sure that people in the same category of work get the same pay? Thank you so much. Thank you for your deliberation.
Thank you, Honorable. And I will go straight into it to answer your question directly. These are critical concerns, and so many other people in the civil service and government officials are concerned about that. The disparity in compensation is serious. And the way the civil service agency wants to deal with this is through the system. It's through the system because you can't deal with it on an individual basis. It's not possible. You can't go there to say, okay, Honorable Noah now is making $100. Okay, Honorable Noah, you know, I can bring you all a little bit, $100 or $200. No. So it has to be through the restructuring of the pay rate so that people in various categories will have the same amount of money and everything they should be paid, you know, the same compensation. So the CSA currently has a technical team that is reviewing the last 2 pay grades. We have 2, and we want to harmonize them. And once that is done, so we will launch that. You're going to be aware, it's going to be public. We will launch it and we'll let it take effect. And we are doing that based on law also, because the standardization and remuneration act that was passed by your previous colleagues gave the civil service agency the go ahead to do that. So we're going to be able to deal with that situation. You talked about deductions. That is also critical. As a matter of fact, we have had our first meeting with all the Workers Association. We had a joint meeting with the Civil Service Association, and the presidents of all of them were present in that meeting. The goal of the meeting was to begin to chart a common course, to make sure that we work together. Everything the CSA is doing, they are not only in the know, but they are a part of it. So I said to them, we have to make full disclosures. That's why I said we have to make full disclosures. So I updated them on where the CSA is with the reforms and everything we are doing. The fiscal side, I also updated them. And I said to them, it's your turn. You have to tell us what you're doing with our civil servants, even though you are responsible for them. They got to tell us if you are making deductions, what are you doing with the deductions you are making, and how are they benefiting from it? We have a report from that meeting with the National Physicians Assistance Association were there. The Civil Service Workers Union president was there. The Civil Servants Association president was in our meeting. The NCSS Teachers Association president was in our meeting. The National Teachers Association president, we brought them together. The leadership at the CSA brought them together. We had a first meeting, and we have started on a very good note. What I can show you, Honorable, is we are going strictly into what those insurance companies are taking away also, and the deductions they are making going to the Workers Union, to the Civil Service Association, what they're doing with the money, and what the insurance companies are doing. I just want to go a step further to include the insurance companies to let you know that it's comprehensive. So it's not just what they're doing with the deductions, but why are they making the deductions? Can we revisit it? It's not for me to say as a decision. But once we conclude on that, we'll also let you know. But action will be taken collectively with those workers, unions, associations. Yeah. And then there was from the Honorable Baghdad. Yes, the Honorable Baghdad answered his question. He asked for the workforce. So when we took over in March, the workforce was 67,746. 67,746. Yes, when we took over. But it's not going to be the same now if you look at it. And the reason is simple. Those are some of the numbers I wanted to show you. Some of the payroll actions we've taken. Take for example, and again, I congratulate the previous administration because they mustered the courage to commission a comprehensive payroll compliance audit that was done by the GAC, and the GAC, the Auditor General, provided a set of recommendations, but those recommendations were not actually being implemented. So the CSA, when I took over, my colleagues and I took over, because some of the recommendations are pretty much straightforward. For example, 122 individuals on the payroll were having shared bank account number. So I, the Honorable President, him, her, the four of us on the payroll, we got one bank account number to which our full salaries were going to. But every time we take pay, we don't complain. I don't complain that I didn't get my salary, immediately just one bank account number. So that did not require any multi-sectoral approach. The CSA went right ahead and blocked those 122 individuals in March. Honorable members, since March, not one of those 122 individuals have come back to me and say, I'm a human being, it's me, that's my bank account number. We also have 127 on the payroll with shared mobile money account numbers. So, not only shared, but different complications. So, my name is on the payroll, but the mobile money account number associated with my name is not my name on it, it's Honorable Alex's name on it. So, my name is there, and juxtaposingly, Honorable Alex's name is opposite my name, and then the Honorable's phone number is there. Josiah Joekai working. I'm not taking pay, but the pay is going to Honorable Alex, who is not working. We have 127. So we immediately blocked the 127 in March. Nobody has come to say that it's me. It's me. So the reason why I'm saying that, Honorable, you asked the question, because of those changes, there are some changes on the payroll. When you talk about attendance, there is law for the civil service. I know that the Decent Work Act deals with certain ministries and agencies, but the 103 spending entities is the purview of the CSA. The law on attendance, I will read it. Section 4, parts 3.4 and 16. It says that unauthorized absence from work for a period of 14 consecutive days may be considered by an agency head as resignation. So what I was showing you is not for me to say as Director General. When we finish the hair count for the particular entity, the Director General transmits your report to you and say, Mr. Minister or Mr. Director General, here is your report from the hair count we conducted with recommendations. So in 14 days consecutively being absent amounts to automatic resignation, you will take the action as head of entity and advise the CSA. Because any action you take will not be effective on the payroll until the Director General instructs that by law. So when you take the action, you communicate the action to me as head of the entity, then I give instruction. But that action has to be backed by information informing your action. Why you took the action, why you dismissed the person, why you suspended the person, why you warned the person, because my primary responsibility is to protect every civil servant in this country before I can remove them from the payroll. There has to be a reliance.
We got your way forward to we are dealing with this issue. Way forward, then we close this one.
Shows that your salary, for example, is $210. The available balance is $105. Your current balance is $205, but your available balance is $105. So we need to know what is unfolding, and outside of the completion, whether they still have the right to know what the salary is. Because I'm curious to know why $200 goes into the account, and then the current balance gives a different amount, and the available balance gives another amount.
Correct. All right.
Honorable presiding, fellow police, I want to take this time to say a big thank you to President Joekai. I think selecting Honorable Joekai is one of the best decisions that the president made as compared to the decision made with the Minister of State portfolio. Compared the decision the president made by selecting the Minister of State portfolio, selecting the president carries on is not the issue. For his presentation. I think I know for his presentation the work that the previous administration had made in the area of the civil service sector, especially the CSA area. My first recommendation is that since you are moving and working from a very strong position in terms of reform, in terms of structure, I want to recommend to the agency under the leadership to ensure that the processes of automation become paramount, and that this project that you refer to, that is helping you to review, regularize, spend, and all of those, do not or does not stop at the level of only identifying spend and regularizing spend. But I think we look forward to seeing a transformative, impactful reform in the CSA sector, because as you indicated, that the 40,000 person you refer to spent around many years prior to 2019. We suppose all of us know that this current administration have to take the bull by the horn and take unpopular decisions and steps, one of which was making sure that the National Identification ID was an integral part of the reform process, which also shaped and laid the foundation for the automated process. I hope that we will not do this process and make sure that this civil service sector is reformed. The second point that I also want to raise is this. Every citizen, including those of their district, whether retired or current on the civil service program, everyone was jittering because of the way the information came from the CSA and came out. Information management is critical, especially in a society where politics is in all of the days and every issue is polarized. I hope that the CSA will continue under the leadership to institutionalize and protect every citizen, every civil servant. Civil service sector is supposed to be a professional reservoir, institutional reservoir that will keep the government machinery moving. So I look forward that the leadership will do that. Thank you again. Thank you.
On the staff, and then after the ballot, then we get to the way forward. Thank you. 24. You got 1 minute, please, on this one.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Presiding, fellow police. Honorable Deputy Speaker, thank you for the leadership. What has happened here today, many of us in Liberia may not have gotten the in total of where we imparted the Director General. Our country has suffered from misinformation, and it has the propensity to jeopardize our peace. Like I said, some of our colleagues and us protect your men, please. You protect them. Thank you, Honorable Presiding. And I would like to say this again, Honorable Presiding.
for the benefit of the doubt, for all of my colleagues, most especially our brothers by the grace of God that just came. When some of us came here, we make percentage use of our listening strength to learn from how the flow operates. Today, for what we have learned over the past 2 years, we are exhibiting leadership, not just leadership, but we are providing direction for the Liberian people. When we do invite people here, we don't invite them on the basis of partisanship, but we invite them on the basis of national operations. I know Honorable Joekai more than anybody in this building. But the issue here now is when Honorable Joekai spoke on Spoon FM, like he said, he went back to reiterate by making different corrections on the process that was not holistic. At the time, the process was specific. 2019 to this time. What happened at that time to almost all Liberians that we interviewed? Their issue was being from 2019 to 2023, a naked to have appeared that he was witch hunting a particular group of people. And that information went wild. It created more division. It created more hate within the country. Today, for Honorable Joekai to come and say, no, our decision about the 19,600 or the 20,400 is not about dismissing them, but it's about making sure that they go through the right procedure for which, as you all know, I served as the Inspector General for Watch Commission. I did not receive one. I didn't get it. Okay? So imagine if I were not a representative today, I would have been one of those persons in that category to have gone through the process. Like my brother here said, as one of the directors, at least in mind, he didn't experience that. Like other people, even yourself, Joekai, you did not experience it as a civil servant. So our issue here today, it is not about from 2019 to this time. It's about past directors who did not do that in the system. So what we're discussing here now in corporate administration, you know, this is something that many of us have been
Mama, you will read all that pamphlet? No. You can tell us second there.
Thank you, sir. You see, Chief, the issue of payroll management control, the issue of payroll management control, the issue of payroll management system, and the issue of system and control. You know, when all of these things work within speed and accuracy, it helps us. But when we saw ministers and other directors, like a minister will come today in the office and look at the other director and say, they may not director today, let the other man sit in the office. Then it started bringing us to understand that in order to be a super civil servant, you must support a particular political party rather than going to go through the process of the real process. So we say thank you for the Joekai, and we look forward to the outcome of our
Follow up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Comrade Fogo.
Okay,
thank you.
Is that what he's saying? Come on. You lost the side.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. 2019 to 2023.
30 seconds.
When we should have time in here, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good result in Tower Way, Liver County. Fellow colleagues, I'm happy to contribute. I want to thank you very much. So I got 3 issues. The 3 issues is I'm impressed. The 3 issues are I'm impressed with your presentation, but yet still I'm in search of safety for the civil service. 1, you inform us that those who did not fill in their pay at this time, they either go back to their various agency or they come to you. So, my question is, those people who did not fill in their pay, why if they go back to the current director or they go back to you and then the system is not okay for them because it's not a new government? What is the system for them? That one. The second thing is that Article 35 of the Liberian Constitution is clear. When it's built, it's placed before the president. After 20 days, the president signs the bill. automatically becomes the law. You projected 19,600, 20,400. The 19,600 appears before your predecessors. Why he did not sign, he told us that you don't know. The pen appeared, he did not sign. I also want to know, all the time the 19,600 spent before your previous was did not sign, what is the law? That if it is signed, as well, automatically that pen is accepted. I want to tell us. The last one, I wanted to also let the public know and let our police know, with all the institutions you just articulated, which one of those institutions that up to this time are not within your government institution? Because you said for all of the institutions put on the civil service agency, right? I want to give us one or two that either be begging to get on your desk to control that civil service, that employees, or what that is. So can you tell us which one of these institutions that say finally they didn't call as well? I mean to bring them on. Because I know there are some institutions here that just doing a social club, collecting the massive salary at the end of the day, and I'm saying fact. There are institutions here that are just collecting money, doing nothing, and at the end of the day, they are riding the silver star and the detriment of the masses. They are just there. Every time you go in the office, they are there. So I want to let us know which of those institutions at this time they are not part of
Thank you, Uncle William. Thank you so much. Now we are now the DG's proposed on this. Mr. DG.
Thank you so much. Honorable Foka, to address your concerns, and I appreciate it so much. But let me just address our Honorable Williams. So, Honorable Williams, you talked about the possibility of a law that ensures that automatically an issue or a proposition becomes law if action is not taken in a specified period. As far as I know, to the best of my recollection, I don't know if the Civil Service Act of 1973 has any such provision. I do not know if the Civil Service Standing Orders alternatively has any provision. I do not also know if the Standardization Remuneration Act has any provision of that nature, or the Human Resource Policy Manual has. What I'm trying to say in short, Honorable, I think it needs further research to ascertain as to whether or not such law exists. And it would be good to know, and if that is the reality, then we won't have to subject the 19,600 to the ESRP. Automatically, we can just go ahead and do the approvals for them, and when they contend with the 20,400. That's what I can say to that. But I don't know if there are any instruments that allow that to happen. The other thing is that I'm glad about your impression. Thank you for the acknowledgement. You are in social safety, correct? I can assure you as Director General for the time, at least for the time that I will be Director General, I can assure you that you can be sure of that safety, because I am a system guy. That's what I believe in. I allow the system to work, and decisions are not made based on perceptions or individual thoughts, opinions, or views. I believe when we make laws, when we make systems, when we create systems, we allow them to work. And so safety can be attained through the allowance of systems to work. I want to show you that. Honorable Foucault said the right thing. I've been going in for some time, and he went a little human, so let me go to that human side a little bit. We've been knowing each other for some time. He's a very good colleague of mine. And when I saw the communication, Honorable Foucault, let me say that Honorable, I really appreciated it when I saw the attachment and saw it on your signature. And I thought that it was a great opportunity. It was a privilege for me to actually come and provide more clarification, to provide more insights into the current reforms ongoing at the civil service agency. So I really appreciate you for that. I want to say that. So the information management system, as the Honorable said, I just want to say that in passing, comparatively, I think they're the same, and we'll take down my advancement. We'll make sure that we take a look at our information management dissemination system. I think we need some little tweaking so that we can provide the kind of information that the Liberian people need to keep, to allay people's fears. because that's not what we want to do. We want to encourage people, we want to show people assurance is very important. And we want to make sure that the people have confidence in the work that we do, the things that we do. So I just want to provide that assurance. Honorable Deputy Speaker, she asked a question that we did not get an opportunity to answer. You're talking about the instability in the pay when the civil servants take their pay. I've been confronted with they have deductions. For example, Mary Johnson gets deduction this month, and then the following month they get another deduction. But the only thing is that when they get additions, they don't come back and say that they got the additions. Honorable, on a serious note, that is something we are looking at. I really think that we can address this issue through the new pay grade system we're working on. That's one. Then two, our engagement with the commercial banks. As you guys have seen the social media and the mainstream media, we have really engaged the commercial banks than before in the shortest possible time. We have engaged with them, and it's deliberate. It's deliberate because we pay our civil servants through them. So we got to know how to pay them. We got to know how come the Honorable Deputy Speaker, for example, myself, the DG, and other people are having shared bank account numbers. We want to know how that is happening. What's the source? Where is it coming from? We want to know how come people are having shared
folks, this is how we like to
we can only know those things when we
curtain
establish a solid relationship
live broadcast.
with the banking institution.
My name is Prince Rob. We've been here in the chambers of the House of Representatives, where the Civil Service Agency and Director General Josiah Joekai has appeared to give some insight on the working of the CSA. Thanks for following. Bye-bye. I'm out.